I'm here to really contribute to the integrity of electioneering process of NRM in the most recently concluded primaries, and also put my voice to the rest of Ugandans on how I feel about this. I know everyone is concerned, but really NRM electioneering process of this time was not leveled. Why? NRM wants to cut costs and put the costs on the candidates, because you cannot fail even to buy or to hire a public address for candidates who paid 3 million. The lining up is also another way of cutting costs, hiding in the philosophy of integrity of community, where people do their business in using their ordinary laws. And NRM wants to use ordinary laws of Bataka to solve its own party problems, which I think is not tenable in this heated kind of process of electioneering. So why and what went wrong? First of all, in pre-nomination and nomination, there was no register. We waited for this register, it did not come. Even towards the date of elections, there was no register. When it came with very many issues. Another thing is they raised the nomination fees, and we hope that because nomination fees have risen, facilitating the process will improve. But actually, candidates were left on their own. And it's like saying, we bury you, whoever can afford to come up, katubazike oraze kwebasa ayezikuri. That's what the party did for us. And indeed, those people who had money, they managed the process themselves to their benefit as candidates, as if themselves are managers of the process. So candidates became both the facilitators of the process and beneficiaries, those especially who are incumbent, who have amassed wealth, and who really can manipulate the system using security, and those who can afford to buy. So the rudimentary way of voting, of lining, should be improved in this era. Surely that it must be reviewed. There was no interest in control of NRM as a party leadership controlling the candidates. Every candidate behaved the way they wanted. It's like having a school where children will come with no uniform. One comes with a suit, another one with a party dress, another one with a night dress, another one with sportswear, and now you are coming to a place where we have to behave the same. So it was very funny that even people could fundraise on the rally. Yet fundraising should have been prohibited, and they then also seen not to be being done during rally times. I know people who are giving lorries of cement as pledges on lorries, and that night the lorries come. So to us who could not afford bringing the lorries of cement on the rally, we could not manage the pressure of the people. And who can afford to really to say no to 200,000 per voter going to a line when your child is not having school fees that moment? So the voter price was so tempting to the voters that even those men and women of integrity could not afford to miss that bait, receive the money, go on the line. And you cannot eat my money and miss my line. Many people were boxed on the line for having taken other people's money and switching the lines. So imagine some people even could not come to vote because they had eaten from candidate XYZ and they said, let me hide. So all of those are the effects of structural failure to manage election process. So another thing is unfacilitated election officers. District returning officers, sub-county registrars, they all depended on candidates to survive. Even sharing, imagine if you share my transport going to where we are going to poll or to a rally, what do you expect? I will go talking with you, and then at the end of the day, you will bend towards me in the behavior of the rallies. So another thing I want to say is during the voting time, of course, I've mentioned voter buying. I've mentioned voter threats. to those who could manage to threaten voters, especially in rural areas, with uniform and other, people in the villages up to now still fear some people by looks. So some people moving around with people who are not known to the place, they scared the people away and they could not come to line, thinking they can even be arrested. So my people, who I have served for 10 years, were either bought off or threatened on lines. Even in the declaration forms were changed during the counting and during even on the way going to the center where the general counting was being done. And all that influenced the outcome. The attribution theory says that the number of causes can lead to amount of outcome. So many causes have come to make this vote uncredible, and therefore, to me, who is again going to be suffering the problem of being accepted by NRM in form of petitions and counter petitions, tribunals. I feel it's a wastage of time to me, because I feel I cannot be heard. Because the people who manipulated the process to make me lose can as well manipulate the whole tribunal process, and I lose also the petition. So me, I have decided to go independent, perhaps where that place there will be a secret ballot, where there will be no destruction of lining, where children will not vote as I saw. Even children voting, really. How could NRM allow these children in the register, surely? This is a kind. I implore my president, with due respect. My president, you assume that this party has grown up and also your leaders have matured, but the crookedness in this party when it comes to managing members, it's like within the party they are opposition and real members, and we feel we are treated as opposition, especially young thugs who are coming into the party. How we feel that we are disenfranchised within our party. Then comes the money. Where do people keep this money? We are busy defending the party on unfulfilled pledges in the community. We are busy trying to tell people that NRM is a really good party. But when services are not in the communities, we plead, say, okay, things are going to come. And instead of seeing services coming, we see a lot of money coming at the end of the voting, at the end when people are coming to vote, to buy people into power. So when we voter bribery turn into service delivery, so that people can start voting people because of the service, not on how much they have bought them. In my area here, in Bufumbira East, Kisoro district, where I was being voted, I expected as a district chairperson to have more than 5,000 votes, but lo and behold, less than 500 votes were counted on my side. Don't you think there is something abnormal? So the people who came in to buy votes brought a big price that nobody can fail to take in as a temptation. So in the prayer that says, do not lead us into temptation, but save us from the evil. So it was, people were led into temptation by high price of voters buying, and then the temptation was doing something wrong. So I want to conclude by saying NRM is a mass party where its leaders are not interested to set standards. Number two, candidates are expected to behave without authoritative control measures within the electioneering process and the party. Number three, the outcome credibility varies, but Bufumbira East, the outcome is not attributed to anything other than the failure of managing the process and buying votes at high cost. Lastly, where agents of some candidates behaved calm, they were threatened away and nothing was done. Even some of our votes were not counted. Thank you. Okay. Behind candidates is a cake. It's actually not tenable with the current technology, with the current point of view of how things must run. Because of lining up, people, one, have refused to come to vote. Number two, families have really, and we're talking from the experience, not you people in Kampala. We're talking as we know because we come from the village. People are not going to share the church. Some are not going to share the bed. Some people are not going to share the plate. Some people are not going to share the party or go to the same place where they used to take a journey or something like that because of the animosity that has come. And it is us candidates who have even worsened the situation by bribing the system, by the people against the other. And now, what do you benefit from people remaining after a vote into confusion, and for you go and enjoy your leadership? What do you benefit from buying people into voting you when you know you are not capable just because you have too much money to spread? Why do you spread money when it is voting? Why can't you bring it early, work on roads? Imagine you are an incumbent or you are a big man somewhere who has worked for your money. And instead of bringing a thermometer in the hospital, which your neighbors or your fathers will use, or working on the nearby road, and you bring the money at the last moment to buy people and leave them in the same poverty, that is shameful. Should be condemned. That is not moral values we want to see.